Hello, my name is Dr. Shacoya Bates, and I'm a clinical psychologist at NC State University's Counseling Center. I am a TRIO supporter, a TRIO alum, and a first generation college graduate from the University of Pittsburgh. I'm originally from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and I lived for the last 15 plus years in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, but now I currently call North Carolina home. I am recording this video on October 24th, 2024. Getting to college, my first year was hectic. Um, I remember my mom trying to rent a car, but she was unable to, so we had to use my uncle's minivan. So we took all the seats out, packed all of my belongings in there, and my mom, my uncle's wife, and I got on the road and got me to school with all of my belongings in one trip. It was so hectic because we did not know, or I did not know, if I was going to get there, if my mom was going to have to ship me all of my things. And when you first get to school, you want to have all your things in your room and set it up. And I thought I wouldn't be able to have that experience. But as always, my family came through for me and made a way for me to be able to get there and have the experience I wanted. It was interesting graduating and leaving campus because for the last several years, that was home. Um, and I had never really been away from home until I went to college. So it was interesting. It was exciting. It was sad. I think I felt a range of emotions. Um, but I don't know if I would change anything about that experience. I love the fact that all of my family came to my graduation. I wasn't sure if that was going to be able to happen. My college was about 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours away from home. So sometimes transportation was an issue when it came to my family being able to get there, but they all made a way and they were able to see me get my degree. Um, and it was pretty amazing. I always knew college was an option for me because my mom um, did not go to college, and my maternal grandparents did not graduate from high school. I believe they have like a fourth through sixth grade education before they had to stop attending school to help out their families on the farm. My family is originally from the South. So my mom always made it a point to tell me that college was an option for me, that she wanted college, that she wanted me to attend college, that she wanted me to become a doctor or a lawyer, which I think a lot of first gen families imagine for their students, being a doctor, lawyer, engineer, something that makes a lot of money. Because when you don't grow up having a lot of money, money feels like it can solve a lot of issues. And in some cases, it can. Um, but I think the point was that they just wanted me to be successful and not have to struggle. I think that was the underlying theme in what they said. But again, I just grew up knowing that I could go because my mom made it a point. She also told me that financially she wouldn't be able to pay for it. So it was really important for me to get scholarships. And she told me that regularly. And that is exactly how I attended school, on scholarships. I made it a priority to go to the office, get those applications, and send in scholarships regularly. And scholarships and financial aid paid for a majority of my education. I think it is extremely important to have a mentor or mentorship or some type of guidance as a first year student. I can remember several times where I had no idea about things that were happening on campus, like who I should go to, can I ask for an extension, how to read and organize the syllabi, how to study as a college student, which looks very different than in high school in some instances. And I felt lost a lot of the times because I could ask my family for advice in that manner because they hadn't went um, to college. So I felt like, they couldn't help. And then when I did ask, like, they would tell me, like, I'm not sure how to help you with that. And that's when a lot of my supporters at TRIO and SSS, that's the University of Pittsburgh, in particular, Miss Lisa Scott, Mr. Carlton Scott, Miss Marilyn Dice, were extremely supportive of me, answered all my questions, informed me about opportunities, tutoring, resources, anything that was available to me on campus. And if they didn't know something, they pointed me in the direction of somebody who did. So they provided a lot of guidance and mentorship for me because a lot of it I just didn't know. Things that you don't know that are outside of your awareness, like as a student for the first time being away from home, it was just kind of scary and overwhelming. And I don't know if I would have got through it without them, without their mentorship, support, and guidance. I think it informs my work with students because of my own experiences, um, which allow me to ask certain questions or have certain insights into things because that has also been an experience I have had and I can relate to that. Now, that's not to say that everything I experience another first gen student will experience because I don't think that's necessarily the case, but having that relatability or that commonality of some of the struggles, the common struggles of first gen students, I think all of that informs how I engage with students, how I ask them questions, you know, when they ask for certain things, pointing them in certain resources, or if they're like, I'm just not feeling it, actually spending some time with them to understand what is it that they're not feeling. Is it just like you're overwhelmed? Is it this one particular class or this one particular professor? Is this one particular thing that you haven't been able to navigate with enough support? So I think just my experience overall as a first gen student helps me support other first gen students in a very unique way. That their support is so needed. Reach out to your student. If you don't hear from them, if you have the means, try to get to campus for a family and friends day or any weekend or any time that you can to just see what your students' experience is like while there. Um, Ask questions and be curious instead of maybe making generalized statements so you can truly understand what it is that they are experiencing or going through and if there's any way that you can support them um, as they navigate like a huge transition and a new experience for themselves. Um, I would just say continue to like love and check on them. Don't overdo it. Give them some space to learn and grow and become their own person. Um, you've done a lot of work raising them and getting them to this point. Um, be confident in how you raised them, what you taught them, and allow them to start applying those principles and values to their lives with your guidance and support. It was absolutely trio. Absolutely 100%, hands down trio. The trips I got to go on, the people I got to meet, the connections I got to make, I'm still friends. And I've graduated quite some time ago with several of the people that I met in trio. Also, my trio family has become continued members of my community. I still keep in contact with my advisor and other staff that were in the support center, the student support center, till this day. And we're talking about years and years later, and they still support me, show up for me, attended my dissertation defense. Um, it's a family. Trio's a family, and the support doesn't end once you graduate. Thank you for listening, and that is my story.